Okay guys, quick video here today. I'm going to give credit to Pinewood CH on YouTube. I've got my Boonie hat here. This is one of several, but I was noticing that I was watching Grantham, and he had a mod that he had done where he was able to point the brim down like that, kind of give it a point, and that gave him a little more flexibility in how he could keep the brim up off of his eyes, but it would still shed water and that sort of thing. So I was looking at different mods available on YouTube, and I came across this one, and I thought it was actually pretty dang awesome. And what Pinewood CH did was he took a simple piece of copper wire. So this is just a piece of copper wire out of some Romex. And your Boonie hat all has a seam where the two edges come together. So I don't want to poke holes in it. So what I did was I took this to my belt sander and just flattened it so there's no sharp point on it. And then where that seam is, you just push it in there, and it feeds around, and you're going to have to kind of shape it as you go to keep it going all the way through. And you just keep feeding it and until it goes all the way around. Then we'll trim it off right here, and that gives you the ability to literally bend your brim to shape without having to do any other modifications. And it gives you a lot more versatility over just having the front peaked. I'll show you a couple of the other mods I've done to mine as I'm feeding this wire through here. And one of the things I did was on each side I poked a hole through, cut a hole through, and I put this rivet on each side. And then I fed through a my own chin strap. I don't care for the chin straps that come with them. They wind up going behind the back of my head anyway. And so I just cut the existing chin strap off and melted it. This particular hat's a true spec, and it does have the internal quote-unquote picture pocket. So that gives me the chin strap that I can either put under my chin or clip it behind the back. And then I've also made this loosely braided Cobra hat band, and inside of this hat band, I can't show you, but inside there's jute twine braided into that. So you get a little bit of extra from that. This is not the absolute easiest thing to do, but it's doable for my first time doing it here on camera with you guys. So you gotta kind of feed it up this way, work it back, and then you can push from this end. Again, the wire's stiff enough, but once it starts making that curve, it doesn't want to just slide real easy. So what I'm doing is I'm sliding it up, and then I'm gripping it here and pulling it back, but it's getting to the point where it doesn't want to pull back. So that's where coming back to this end and just pushing makes that easier. So here's where I'm at so far. So I'm just going to push in like that, come back over here, push it through, and that tightens it back all the way around. So now I'm at my front where the brim is, so I'll be able to just bend that and shape it however I want. It'll give me a lot of options in how the hat fits on my head. Or not fits, but how I have it shaped to my head. If I want to have the brim rolled up, I can do that to get it out of the way for like Hearing Pro or whatever. I can bend it down to give my ears more coverage if it's windy or cold. Shape it in such a way, like I said, that it'll shed water better. So it gives you a lot of options once it's installed. We're getting almost there. got about 8 inches to go. So we'll just keep feeding it through. Keep pushing it. And then when it comes out the other end, like I said, we'll trim it to length and pull it back through. I don't have a screen in front of me, so hopefully all this is, I'm trying to keep it in frame so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oops. We're getting to the point where it doesn't want to push because there's so much of it in there now. Almost at the overlap point here. All right, it's touching, so I want it to go right up to that seam. All right, take my diagonal cutters here. I'm going to pull it out just a little bit. I'm going to clip it off, and then this end also I'm going to go over to my belt sander real quick and flatten that sharp point off. Hopefully you can clearly see that point right there, how it's nice and flat now. And then we'll just push that in so that it's out of the way. I'm going to take the tip of these needle nose and there we go. Now that's pushed all the way in there. Now if I want, I could put a stitch there, which I might, to keep it from backing out because it doesn't want to back out. You don't need to see me do that, but that's what I might do. But now, when I put the hat on, I have that flexibility of that brim in there, so I can point it to get it up away from my eyes. If I want more of a, almost like a cowboy hat style brim, I can do that. I can roll it up out of the way if I want to put ear pro on over the top. Although I normally wear plugs if I'm wearing a Boonie hat, I can bend it down. Like I said, if it's wet or rainy or cold out, I can bend it down to cover my ears a little more. So it does give a whole lot of flexibility, and you can still bend it flat and store it flat. Now you can't roll it up. So a lot of times before I would take my Boonie hats and roll them up. So I would fold them flat like this and then roll them. And I guess you could kind of do that, but I probably won't in this case. So yeah, I think I'm definitely going to push that through, and then I might even trim it down a little more, push it in there, put a stitch to keep it from coming out. Just a stitch with a little bit of nylon thread. I use the 100% nylon upholstery thread. That's what I use, and I've got it in black, desert tan, and I've got it in green also. So all right, there you go. So there's a quick little Boonie Hat mod for you. Thanks for watching. Dan, Hardwood Hollow Skills, I'm out. Okay, I realized when I was doing the hat part, it wasn't showing, so I was sitting here. So what I was saying is I can adjust the brim this way to give me that peak that I want, which will help shed water, gives me good sun protection, but it doesn't let it flop down in front of my eyes. I can shape it around glasses if I'm wearing sunglasses or whatever. The cowboy style brim where I can kind of flatten the front like that, but keep it down if I want to bend up the edges like this in order to wear ear pro. Or if it's cold out, like I said, you can adjust it to bend it down, kind of protect your ears from the wind. So it gives you a lot of different versatility at that point. All right, there you go. There's that demonstration. Hope you enjoyed this video. Dan, Hardwood Hollow Skills. I'm out. Oh, I did go ahead and put a stitch there, if you can see that, to help. It was probably about 5 stitches to keep that wire from pushing back out right there. So there you go. Thanks for watching.